This old country road leads into a beautiful sanctuary of nature's last outpost against civilization. And deep in the recesses of the forest, ancient cypress trees reflect themselves in placid waters. This, indeed, is the lure of La Noche.
Once there was an Indian chief, a brave hunter was he. He ranged the vast Ocala land when the seven...
This forest retreat is nestled at the edge of the Ocala National Forest in central Florida.
He found the wondrous land.
Spanish moss veils the weathered, twisted trees. And when Indians ranged this country, this was a paradise of game and fish. Today, this wonderland is a Shangri-La for all the Boy Scouts in Central Florida. For this is Camp La Noche.
Among the birds and animals in the land of the cypress tree, he led his band of Seminoles where life was good and free.
During the summer months, hundreds of scouts enjoy the adventure of camp life. They arrive by the carload, prepared for a week or two of real scouting in the rough. They'll be living at this campsite, which is just one of many here at La Noche. Hey, Wells, getting settled? Whoops, I'm sorry. Up and at 'em there, boy. Wells Moon is one of the boys from Kissimmee, Florida. Bruce White Wolf is also one of the troop. This fine young man is a senior scout and sort of a mother hen to many of the younger boys. Bruce, like all other senior scouts, takes his role as a leader very seriously. He enjoys his share of the responsibility in looking after the younger boys, and makes the work of the scoutmasters just a little bit easier. Evening at camp is one of the nicest times of the day. Roaring campfire, roasting hot dogs, and singing are traditional things. After an afternoon of getting settled in camp, it's sure good to relax and kind of unwind before turning in for the night. The campfire brings out the best in a song or two. All good things must come to an end, and as the fire begins to turn to embers, the thought of a friendly old sleeping bag sounds pretty good. And when the boys have settled down for a good night's sleep in the open air, the scoutmaster has a few minutes to stir the last of the fire and perhaps ponder the busy tomorrow. Morning comes early in any scout camp. When the bugler blows reveille and the sound echoes through the woods, it's a mad scramble to see who hits the washroom first. The bathhouse is alive with young tigers getting ready for a busy day at La Noche. A dash of cold water, a scrub with the old toothbrush gets things in gear. Don't need a shave today. A turn at the shower will bring a boy alive and get him off to a clean start. Of course, there's always a bit of horseplay in the showers, but it doesn't last long with breakfast in the wind. The old mess hall bell makes a sweet sound any time of the day, and no one has to be coaxed to the dining hall, where there's always something good to eat. Well, boys, the table is set and the food's hot. But first, a moment to say grace and give thanks for the blessings we share together. To say grace is traditional and revered by all scouts. A stack of flapjacks and a few gallons of milk will usually keep a gang of boys going till lunchtime. The hundreds of boys that are fed here each day keep the griddle going, and the camp cook's just about one step ahead of the game. Of course, someone always misses the cup, and a small lake of milk floods the table, but it's all in a day. Most are too busy to notice anyway, and who cares? We're camping out. The camp directors and the scoutmasters roll out early, too, at La Noche. While the boys are wolfing down their breakfast, these men are usually busy planning the day's activities. With a large number of boys in camp during the summer months, everything has to be carefully scheduled and supervised. A great deal of planning goes into making life in camp one big happy adventure for all the boys. Well, here comes the troop. And with hungers satisfied, they're ready to see what this camping business is all about. A hike through La Noche is the order of the day. The boys will get a chance to see all the things that are in store for them during the next week. At La Noche, the boys will have an opportunity to participate in many sports and skills. Archery is one skill each scout will have a chance to try. Hey, there's a good one. Before the week's out, these fellows will be drawing a bow like an expert. Well, almost anyway. At the rifle range, scouts learn about the popular sport of target shooting with the .22 caliber rifle. But before any boy gets a chance to become a marksman, he must learn to respect the rifle as a weapon. Everyone receives careful instruction, and safety is stressed above all other things. Here the boys are getting a look at the .22 they'll be using while here at La Noche. The instructors will spend many hours with the boys, teaching them marksmanship. Handicrafts give the boys a chance to make something useful. I guess we have a camera bug in our midst. Hey, fellas, Wells wants to take a picture. Hold it. Yeah, that ought to be a good one. Any scout that comes away from a week at La Noche without a hand-carved neckerchief slide just isn't much of a handyman. Some of the slides are rare design, and the boys spend many leisure hours working out their own bit of carving art. A pair of moccasins is also a must, and when the boys get finished, any Indian chief would be proud to wear them. Camp La Noche is gifted with a large and beautiful lake. No matter where you turn your eyes, the lake looks enticing. It is primarily because of Lake Norris and the surrounding forestry that La Noche is considered the finest Boy Scout camp in all of the southeastern United States. The clean, cool waters make this truly a young man's paradise. And any boy who has ever camped at La Noche will say the swimming is the greatest. There is always something to be taking a picture of. And once in a while, you even get a chance to get your own picture taken. Okay, Bruce, let's see how good a photographer you are. Got to get it just right. Just a little more. That's looking good. Hey! Oh, well, the water's fine. A little wet, though. That's one way to get a dip ahead of everybody else. The hard way. Did you ever try foil cooking? The scouts all get a chance to try their hand at cooking bread, meat, eggs, and vegetables. The whole trick is to wrap the stuff in aluminum foil, put it in the fire, and presto, fresh bread. It sometimes doesn't look too good, but it's usually real tasty, especially if you cook it yourself. Mom's cooking was never like this. Come dusk, though, there's one thing Mom can't improve on, and that's a hot roasted marshmallow. Good, but gooey. A week at La Noche can go by in such a hurry that a troop of boys has to really hurry to take in all the activities. Some of the boys do real well. Others, well, some just don't get the hang of it. Bruce has been at it for several years or so. So what can we say? Okay, Wells, show 'em how it's done. Oh, come on now, it can't be that bad. Well, anyway, you were close. The rifle range is where the real marksmen show their stuff. A good eye, steady hand, and a little luck will put 'em right in the old bullseye. Okay, Wells, so you goofed at archery. So now let's really show these guys what you can do with the old .22. Everyone is off the firing line, and the range officer will soon have the results. The targets are the proof of the pudding, and it looks like some of the guys did okay. How about you, Wells? Hey, you sure you weren't shooting at the wrong target? A physically fit scout is important, and a fast turn around the obstacle course keeps the boys in shape. Swing across the handbars, with a little help from a buddy. And then a fast dash to the high wall. Up and over. And up comes another eager beaver. Even the big ones need a little help. Over the fence and a dash through the tire, a flip and a quick roll just to add a little spice, and away we go. When there's nothing better to do, a fellow needs a rest. And there's nothing like a little wood carving to settle a man's nerves. Wells has been working on this little gem for a couple of days now. How about that, Bruce? Let's see how it looks on you. Cut it a little thin somewhere, didn't you? Or maybe a little glue, Wells. By the time you get it painted, you'll never know the difference. A fast game of water polo in the cool amber water of La Noche is great sport. The buddy system is used at camp, and the boys are never allowed to swim alone. When the whistle blows, every pair of swimmers must stop long enough for a buddy check. Waterfront activities are always supervised by camp swim instructors who see that the boys don't get overzealous in their roughhousing. An impromptu swim meet keeps the boys in shape, gives them a chance to swim for speed and distance. Some of the boys cut through the water like fish. There's the boat, and there's the winner. Some of the prettiest sights to ever behold are in the back waterways of the lake, and a canoe is just the thing for a water safari. These scenic little waterways are small vignettes of Florida's natural primitive beauty. As you skim through waterways, you can see the ancient cypress standing knee-deep in the amber water, like age-old soldiers with matted gray hair, standing bent and twisted, but yet undaunted by time. You have a feeling of reverence to glide slowly in silence along the shore and see and feel the wonders of this timeless land. And without thinking, you can bridge the eons of time and imagine the once proud Indian moving across these same waters. And somehow you know he felt the same reverence too. In the open water, some of the boys move swiftly along and scoot across the lake in no time. Of course, the rowboat isn't quite as fleet, but just as much fun when a fellow's out to catch a fish or tell a tall story to a buddy. Ye Old Trading Post is one of the focal points of the camp. A cold coat or a few goodies make a welcome break from the rigors of the day. This is also the place to get the latest news. The Camp Bulletin Board brings the boys up to date while taking a break. Hey, big doings tonight. Camp Retreat and Order of the Arrow selections. All the members of Wells' troop have been wondering if any of their boys will be selected for the order. And of course, no one knows except the members of the council. Being selected for the Order of the Arrow is quite an honor, and most of the boys don't think they have a chance. Retreat is the one time when all the troops gather in a large group to lower the flag of their country. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law. And as the flag is lowered, these young Americans feel the closeness of their pledge to God, to country, and to scouting. To stand together in the evening in comradeship and devotion, to salute the flag, gives meaning to being an American and a scout. Darkness will soon creep across the forest of La Noche, and tonight is the tap-out ceremony for the Order of the Arrow. The Indian chief and his braves enter the circle of the council fires to select the candidates for the Order of the Arrow. This honor comes to those who have the true scouting spirit and live by the laws of scouting. To be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. All of these make a scout. The braves have their instructions to proceed with the selection of the candidates. No one knows at this moment who will have the honors at this tap-out. One boy has been selected. And now the second brave will troop the line. Each boy wonders if he will be next. Wells, the order looks on you with favor. You are admonished to silence and the ordeal of the arrow. The chief has ordered that you be taken into the woods where you will remain alone throughout the night, thus to test your bravery. Until tomorrow night, you must speak to no one. And in your silence, you may contemplate the Order of the Arrow. forest is quiet tonight. I guess this is it, Wells. Here's where you'll spend the night. So you might as well get the old sleeping bag situated. Just a friendly old hoot owl. Wells, the sooner you get to sleep, the quicker this night is going to pass. Get a good night's sleep, Wells? All day today, the other boys will try to get Wells to talk. And before the day's over, they'll probably trick him into saying something. Better grab 40 winks pretty fast, because you're going to be on work detail all day. There are a lot of windows in the mess hall, as Wells will find out today. There are also a lot of potatoes to peel, and a grouchy old cook. As the sun sets, and the legendary Indian chief La Noche casts his shadow across the water, once again the council fires blaze, and the Indians have gathered to take the candidates into the Order of the Arrow. This will be a night to long remember, and a fitting way to say farewell to La Noche. The rights of the order are secret and cannot be revealed except to those who have earned the right. Once the candidates enter the circle of the council fires, they receive the solemn oath and obligations. And as a final farewell to this unforgettable evening, all of the scouts gather in a band of friendship. Breaking camp is sort of a sad occasion that every scout has to face. But there will be a lot of pleasant memories to take back home.
Ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Want to do fast? You get this way.
Oh, quite a few.
Here, let me give you a hand with your bag.
Okay.
Have fun with us this year?
Yeah, but I'm sure gonna miss this canoe, and I sure had a ball doing that.
Hey, Bruce, you fellows all packed and ready to head for home?
Yes, sir.
Bruce, did you all have a good time?
Well, I think everyone had a good time here at Camp Lenoche. You just couldn't help it. We've got a real good staff. The boys know what they're talking about. They've taught me a lot. They've taught the rest of the boys in the troop a lot, too. I'm looking forward to next summer, or maybe sometime during the year at some scout activity that maybe I'll meet some of the boys I've seen up here during summer camp.
By the way, where's Wells Moon?
Well, I think Wells is about ready to go now. Hey, Wells, you ready to go? Well, excuse me, I must finish loading.
Wells just wanted to say goodbye. Now that the week's over, what do you think of Lenoche?
Well, I had a real nice time here at Lenoche. I think we're real lucky to have a camp like this, and all the boys I was with this weekend really had an enjoyment out of it and really learned a lot. And by the way, this here sash I got this I was taken in at the Ordre d'Ile last night.
I know, we were there too.
You were? Big crowd, wasn't there?
Hey, Will, come on!
Well, I guess I better be going.
Hey, come on, Wells, hurry up. See you at Lenoche next year, okay?
Okay, Wells.
Bye!
Lenoche, Lenoche, chief of all the brave. Lenoche, Lenoche, lived his Indian ways among the birds and animals in the land of the cypress tree. He led his band of Seminoles where life was good and free. All young braves and hunters, listen to what I say. Lenoche is not leaving you, for I shall always stay. Bury me in the waters near the cypress I love so dear. And when you're sad and mourning, you will always hear Lenoche, Lenoche, chief of all the brave. Lenoche, Lenoche, lived his Indian ways among the birds and animals in the land of the cypress tree. He led his band